Hello YouTube, Wadrace here again, and today I have an Operation Hermes replay for you. Now, this was a replay of my own battle a few days ago, and it just happened to give me some interesting results that I was rather pleased with. As the screenshot you'll see shows, I am running it in the Tier 7 USS Atlanta. The ship's upgrades are Main Armaments Mod 1, Propulsion Mod 1, AA Mod 2, and Propulsion Mod 2. I am also running this with a 19 skill captain, whose skills are Preventative Maintenance, Expert Marksman, Adrenaline Rush, Advanced Firing Training, Basic Firing Training, Basics of Survivability, and Inertia Fuse High Explosive, all of which make for a very, very potent USS Atlanta build. Now, I do apologize for running this off of screenshots for both the first few seconds and the results screens. However, I was not exactly planning on doing a video when I had this match. That being said, the overall results just kind of turned out where I figured it was worth showing, and I just kind of had to go back and get screenshots to capture a lot of the pertinent information. And just kind of build it from there. Now, while things are going on this match, I will say that I'm probably going to be producing a few extra videos this week than I normally would have, simply because, due to an unfortunate accident at work, I have found myself with a lot of free time. Enough where I'm probably going to have another 2 or 3 videos up within the next week, provided things do not go, well, don't not put too fine a point to it. If things don't go too fine with medical checks and so on and so forth. I injured my leg at work, and right now I'm currently going through all kinds of hoops trying to make sure that I do not have a broken leg beyond just a lot of surface damage. Nothing that's going to leave me permanently disabled, mind you, just definitely making life very annoying right now. Getting back on point regarding scenarios, the USS Atlanta is a very solid ship to use in just about any of the Tier 7 operations, simply because it is a very solid anti-air platform. Especially Operation Hermes, where a lot of the planes that you end up having to knock down early on are very low tier. You cut through them very quickly, and you just tend to clear the skies before there's any real damage done. It can also shred through destroyers very, very effectively. Especially in missions like, again, Operation Hermes, where there are a lot of destroyers that show up. You can harass cruisers very effectively, and most battleships, depending on the angles that you get them at, really, well, let's just say they, if bots could hate a ship, they would definitely hate the Atlanta, and I've noticed that the few times that I have run an Atlanta in any operation, if I take any damage whatsoever, I tend to get focus fired down very quickly. I don't know if that's a result of the game mechanics just simply choosing to target ship with the lowest HP, or the game just kind of targeting the most relevant threat. That being said, the Atlanta is a relatively strong threat on any mission that can be operated in regarding the scenarios. Sorry. One thing that I love about the Atlanta for operations is that it does have those long firing arcs, it's got a lot of guns, and with inertial fuse high explosive it really can dish out the damage quite effectively across all classes of ships. And this is coming from a person who, believe it or not, really is not much of a fan of the USS Atlanta. As far as any other gameplay mode that I've taken the Atlanta into, I really have to say that I dislike it as a cruiser. Granted, as I've said in one of my previous videos, I am a very aggressive player, and the Atlanta is not necessarily an aggressive playstyle cruiser. It requires a more passive, more sneaky individual to get things done, and it just doesn't fit me all that well. For operations, it is a powerhouse. For any other type of gameplay within World of Warships, I really just struggle getting it to work for me. On that note, I will let you all just kind of enjoy watching this match without having to hear my voice and my pauses and coughs and so on. I will kind of come back just a little bit before the end, just with something else that I want to talk about very, very briefly. But other than that, enjoy watching, and I'll catch you all in a little bit. Before I do leave you all be, I just wanted to apologize. I know there are some glitchy moments in the video. Unfortunately, that is issues in the replay itself, not from my editing software. Anytime I run missions, I have problems with the servers. Anytime the mission updates or anything, it just lags on me horrendously. So I do apologize for that, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Again, that is in the replay itself, that is not from my editing software. Anyway, enjoy what is left of the match, and I will get back to you. about here is where I want to chime back in again, because it never really seems to fail that with Operation Hermes, this is where teams just kind of start falling apart. You've got ships that'll sit either too far away from this last island or they'll hug it too close. But the other thing is that these destroyers that sneak up past the island here, if you're not ready for them, if you're not waiting for them, they just kind of get past the fleet and wreak all kinds of havoc before anybody can really do much of anything. I mean, even as it is right now, I'm just about the only one who's giving any attention to these destroyers at all in this match. And I've had points where I've died before I can even get into cover, so that all I have to worry about is these destroyers. And once I die, nobody else gives the destroyers the time of day until torpedoes are already coming down their throat, at which point it is way too late to be trying to do anything about them. And it drives me nuts, because I have seen matches that could be easily won lost very quickly just because other players forget about these destroyers coming up at the end of the match. But fortunately, I survived this time, and I was able to get my destroyers, say, taken down. And otherwise, just now just kind of setting up to finish off the match, hoping that the rest of my team survives. Now, at this point, I also start looking at the other ships I can take out, and remember that the aircraft carrier, Graf Zeppelin, is one of the mission objectives. And this is what I really wanted to talk about right here. It's that Graf Zeppelin, we are seeing it in Operation Hermes missions every time they come around now. I can't imagine they would be in a scenario as an enemy ship unless it were a finalized ship for gameplay otherwise. Which begs the question, Wargaming, when are we going to finally get our hands on the Graf Zeppelin? It has been 6 months since it was originally released. I know it's been going through all kinds of testing, and this is probably the single ship right now that I am really hoping to get another chance at, because as aircraft carriers go, it is a unique ship now, and I want the opportunity to be able to play it just like any other CV player. And I think I would actually very much enjoy having such a unique aircraft carrier in my fleet. But anyway, that aside, this match is almost over. Unfortunately, we did not get all of the objectives, but we did come really damn close. Now, there is a little bit of a comedy moment here with me riding the edge of the map and just kind of running up on the sunken hull of one of my fallen comrades, but realized that I was in binocular view at this moment trying to sink this T-22, and I just couldn't really see much of what was going on around me. Anyway, mission is over. On the results screen, we have 4 stars for the mission. We only missed that we had to have all 3 battleships survive the mission. For outcome, I got 900,000 credits, 12,000 base experience, I got 10,000 free experience, 172,000 damage done, 491 main battery shell hits. I was the highest earner with 2,200 base experience points for the mission, twice what my closest comrade made. 172,000 damage done, 164 that with the main battery, 48 aircraft destroyed, 18 ships damaged, 3 destroyed. And then just overall results, my actual earnings after credit losses, 827,000 experience points, and what really baffled me, even with all of my economic flags, I came away with almost 41,000 commander experience points. Anyway, it is time to wrap it up. I shall see you all next time.